Y'all know, like, this gesture, the crossed arms over your chest thing? What does that mean to you? If I had to guess, if you're a Zoomer, probably something Marvel-related, like Kamala Harris, Wakanda Forever. Maybe even Deadpool's X-Force, because that's a timely reference to make, depending on when you're watching this. Well, I hate to break it to you, but whatever you thought it meant, it does not anymore. This iconography as a symbol has been co-opted by an age demographic well above the typical Kwite viewer's age. Some of them might even be considered old age. Don't worry, you guys are still welcome here. I know some of the people in my audience could be my father. Just a question. Would any of you be open to the position? Gen X rise. Who's with me? Bro, the pump fake on flicking the bird at the camera is so funny. He's struggling to even get the fingers all the way up, which is fair. Lots of things have trouble getting up at that age. Hell, I'm so far ahead of the curve, I can't get it up at the age of 24. Hi again, guys, and it's about time we check off a box on my old to-do list. Over the years on this channel, we've gotten a few laughs from looking at cringe from different age groups of people. Boomers were the first. Millennials gave us 2 bangers by using TikTok at all. We've even given ourselves and Gen Z some grief, because despite how depressed all of us already are, I still wanted to give you even more. If you enjoy this video, this card at the end will take you to the last Gen Z video. You know, just taking equally sized dumps on both sides of the equation, so you know we're presenting both sides of the argument. Also, less than 20% of y'all are subscribed with notifications on. If you sub and hit the bell icon, you'll never miss an upload, and you can always undo it later. So you will see this Gen X face paint TikTok filter a lot in this video. I really have no idea who made this, but this might be the assassination of Franz Ferdinand in the context of this war. Whoever made this filter had no idea how strong of a tool for self-empowerment they were handing to people born between 1965 and 1980. And those folk have used it to not just take pride in their year of birth, but to declare open combat with these small, puny, fragile babies of the Zoomer generation. And I can't even completely disagree with that description of our generation, because everyone our age of every sexuality has an obsession with getting a twink pregnant, or they want to be the twink getting impregnated. You get what I'm saying. Gen X going to war with Gen Z? They better bring Jesus. Who's with me? I mean, if you're willing to give us Jesus in this fight, we'll definitely take him. He seems like a cool guy to hang out with. You'll also see this guy, Mustache Man 23, a lot in this trend. He's taken up the cross on this particular crusade and tilted it 45 degrees like in Logan to make an X. Very timely reference, I know, and he has just been beating the pavement on his warpath. I kind of respect it, but the comments have had some pretty common responses. Gen X versus the voices. Old man yells at cloud. Gen X rise in blood pressure. You know, that sort of thing. And before we continue, I want to clarify that this dude in particular seems to be leaning into all of this and just having fun with it. For Christ's sake, he changed his name to TikTok to Simon Gen X with Unk in parentheses. It's really not all that serious, and I hope you guys don't take it as such, but I will still be looking at his videos and dunking on some of them because it's fun. I just hope y'all know that for most people our age and our parents' age, this isn't all that serious, and it's just to have some good fun. And hey, he even posted the apology video to Gen Z when he realized he's gone too far as of late.
I've got a message for Gen Z. I apologize. I apologize that your mama raised a little bitch.
That deep sigh at the end, his heart is just not in this anymore. Like, it's dawning on him, like, fuck, this is what I'm doing in my free time? I'm about to retire, dude. This game is not fun to play no more. He was trying to have a good time, but there's no more good times left to have. Not everybody in his constituency was in for a laugh, though. Some Gen Xers had scathing critiques of their enemy combatants.
Gen X okay? No, seriously, are you guys okay?
What kind of stupid fucking question is that? We're fine. It's 2023. This shit is a cakewalk. We got like 900 TV channels and Prozac.
I mean, shit, replace those TV channels with 5-hour video essays on media I have never consumed, and we're not so different. Hell, the Zoloft is what's keeping me a functioning individual these days. And you know, shout out to this lady for taking care of her mental health and being willing to try medication so she can live a more stable life. I fuck with the self-care, but praise aside, we are not done here.
Parents are either dead or too old to threaten to kill us every day. I brought you into this world, I could take you out of it. Our boomer parents could turn anything violent. Hey, Dad, can I get a paper towel? I'll paper your towel. We didn't have anti-bullying campaigns. Our parents bullied us.
This is the shit that has caused me to be so conflicted. I went into this video with impure and toxic intentions in my heart. But over the course of researching it, I've developed something I never thought I possibly could. empathy. I don't like it. I thought dudes had to take shrooms to experience this shit, but now I'm feeling these things completely sober. Ugh. Like, oh my god, these dudes were getting reamed by society in the 60s when these poor sods were toddlers at the oldest. They had to air on TV some shit saying, do you know where your children are at 10 p.m. because no one looked after them.
Our parents would leave us places all the time. They'd forget us at the store, and there's no way to get a hold of them. So you just have to sit there and hope they came back for you. The school had to take our pictures and fingerprint us in case we got kidnapped. We were like 30 years old when we were 12. Already smoking cigarettes, drinking our parents' liquor.
Okay, slow down. I also knew people who were chain smoking and drinking flasks of liquor in the bathroom when I was in middle school too. Don't worry, the tradition is alive and well, but I genuinely also feel for these people. Having children is a process of unlearning generational trauma and doing the best you can by those who came after you. And it seems like most of them have really made the effort. It's an imperfect one and it always will be, but it's a process we will always go through as people. That said, this lady's trauma dump is not from the current wave of Gen X rebellion. It's actually from like mid-2023, so it's a little outdated. It was a one-off, and the kind of rhetoric being spread around now is much worse. Gen X really just did not get mentioned much, by name at least, in the context of generational wars on the internet. Wars, Christ, that's dramatic. The most they really caught were some strays when we lumped them in with boomers, because most people my age are bad at counting anything that isn't a Twitter ratio. They woke us. They poked us. Now, they can enjoy the consequences. Of course Gen Z made Gen X woke. They poison everything they touch. There is a bit of irony that this lady chose a sound that included her cracking every bone in her back. It's not one that I'm unfamiliar with, just it sounds like the simulated crinkling of tinfoil. And of course, as anything like this happening on the internet will soon be followed by, commentary channels were getting their bag like I'm trying to right now by talking about it. I've had this video planned for a few weeks, but of course, the day that I reached out on Twitter asking for posts of Gen Z cringe, fellow commentator Funky Frogbait made a 20-minute breakdown that got 1 million views in 2 days. It's very good, but god damn it, she beat me to the punch. I'm just not as quick with it as I was in the days when I was an alcoholic illegally. It is a good video, I recommend giving it a watch, but there may be some crossover coverage if you've seen that one before or are seeing mine first. Honestly, I might just be cursed. I had just finished writing and recording a 20-minute video on the history of kudzu in America that you'll probably never get to see, because an hour after I had finished recording it, Wendigoon uploaded a 40-minute breakdown that covers it in much more depth and emotional resonance than I'm capable of feeling. Anyways, back to Gen X.
Fear has two meanings. Forget everything and run. Or face everything and rise.
Actually, FEAR as an acronym stands for First Encounter Assault Recon. It's a video game, man. There's like 3 of them. The first one came out in like 2005, which I was alive for, but it still beat you to the punch on what fear means by like 2 decades. It's even copyrighted. Try using that branding as your war cry and see how that holds up under outdated modern copyright law. One thing I'm sure you've seen pretty commonly, even if you aren't really aware of Gen X taking this up as a feud, is people that age viewing Eminem as a kind of avatar for all of their complaints with the recent generation. You know, they grew up on Slim Shady era Eminem, and there's this convenient timing of Eminem bringing that persona back for an album that he says all sorts of edgy shit on, where Gen Xers are taking this as his war on the woke mob in a generation who has access to therapy and self-introspection. When you realize Eminem's new song Trouble is about Gen Z, some feelings are gonna get hurt. And the lines often in question that they tried to warn us about are usually these ones. Eminem says to Slim, "What the fuck are you trying to do?" To which Slim responds, "I'm trying to get us canceled. Fuck blind people. And deaf people suck, dumb quadriplegic fucks. You're gonna cancel me? Yeah, Gen Z me, bro." That's basically the whole song, by the way. It's barely a song. The runtime is more in line with what the average Pink Pantherist listener is into. Guilty as charged. I get that said within the context of the album, it's something Eminem doesn't want to be a part of, but I'm not gonna lie, even in those bars, I still think that there is somebody in this verse for everybody. Every audience could probably find this funny, with maybe the exception of deaf people, because, you know, hearing. You see, Gen Xers get their wish fulfillment moment in the form of them thinking Eminem has got their back and is fighting up against the woke mob, and younger folk get to laugh at the concept of Gen Z-ing someone. I'm sorry, man, most of us grew up on Eminem too. We didn't realize we were supposed to be canceling him until our older peers brought it to our attention. To be fair, it was totally worth it because of the response tracks they tried to make about it. And in line with that perspective of having fun watching a car crash, there is one approach some people my age have taken that I don't think I've ever fully understood, where they'll say something along the lines of, Gen X has always flown under the radar as far as not rocking the boat while shit-talking younger folk.
Fuck Gen X, by the way. You motherfuckers really trying to get under the radar, ain't they?
You don't call down the thunder, you don't want the smoke. Like our hero Patrick Swayze said, we're gonna be nice until it's time not to be nice. Roadhouse.
You really can't make some of this shit up. The dude has an X on his sunglasses. And this is a general PSA. No matter your age, if we can see the reflection of the phone you're recording yourself with anywhere in a video, it's always gonna make me laugh a little. People make jokes about the script that I'm reading off of looking like the pupils in my sunglasses' eyes. No one's immune, dog. That said, Gen X has always had words for the younger folk. I'm sure y'all might remember the trend of article headlines going all, millennials killed the steam-powered industry business. They killed cereal, too. They just always kept that shit talking on the places that Gen X already dominated, like Fox News and other legacy publications that have been around for twice as long that I have. Yeah, they talk their shit on us, or at least the generations younger than them in general, in their own spaces. But really, the only responses they'd get directly to that would be from folk closer to our age, talking about it and shitting about it on YouTube. A completely different place from where the original comments came from. You didn't see a whole lot of unironic avocado toast talk from older established creators making a living off of YouTube. I'm sure it exists, but it definitely did not start there. The issue became when TikTok, an app predominantly seen as a young man's game, became so ubiquitous that people of all ages were flocking to it by the millions. It became so influential that now they're trying to ban it. I don't really go on that app as much as I used to because I would be the last person to argue that it wasn't destroying my attention span. So at this stage, it's likely that your dad uses it more than me. Even still, it's always going to be the youngins shaping the culture on these new platforms. So when Gen X took the fight to our home shores, the college students were always going to win the information war. Comment spamming the same thing over and over again about how it's Gen X versus the voices in their head may be brain dead, but there is strength in numbers. What we lack in brain cells, we share by having a collective hive mind. Still, it goes further than just that. The kids are engaging in isometric warfare. They are not engaging with the thrust and substance of what you're saying. They are dismissing you as an opponent even worth seriously engaging with. There was this one particular white woman who I'm sure is a lovely individual to talk to, but she was trying to articulate why we as Gen Z should not be messing with Gen X. That their parents would beat the shit out of their kids on the regular and did not blink twice. She even got some pro-Gen X fan edits made with her words as the backdrop.
For those Gen Zers out there that don't understand the Gen X rise, let me explain it. The Gen X folks are the toughest people that currently exist in our world today. They are emotionally tough and they are physically tough.
Hell, all of what she said might be true. It might even be something the kids should consider if they plan on hitting the streets to take the fight to the old man's doorstep. Which, of course, we won't, and any reasonable persons our parents' age wouldn't either, because these discussions do not exist in the real world. We're all just terminally online in our own ways. But even if that was the case, unfortunately, you have already been depicted as the video equivalent of the soy jack Gen X supporter versus the spry and crafty Gen Zer. A Gen X video, but it's just breathing and pauses.
We hopped fences. We didn't wear a helmet.
Like, that's not even a criticism I would make at someone. It's just funny to look at. Humans physically have to breathe to live, and now it's become comedy. I can't talk nearly as coherently for as long as this woman does in one take at a camera. It's why my videos are so ADHD and all over the place, with jump cuts and meme edits to distract from the flaws in my delivery style. But it didn't make what this woman was doing any less funny to watch. Hell, there's countless examples of it. Previously mentioned, friend of the channel, Mustache Man 23, I say that parasocially because he doesn't and probably never will know who I am, got dunked on by just a transition slide and sped up music. When Gen X and Gen Z finally meet, the caption reads. I think most Gen Zers have met their parents, some exceptions for sure, but
You gonna cancel me, yeah? Gen Z me, bro.
You gonna cancel me, yeah? Gen Z me, bro. You gonna cancel me, yeah? Gen Z me, bro. You gonna cancel
one picture of LeBron, and unfortunately for you, it was over before it began. I pray no one's taken this situation that seriously on the other side, because we definitely are not over here, as demonstrated. It just really makes me feel for the folk who are part of Gen X, who just keep asking themselves, why are we doing this?
Gen X rise.
Wait, hold on. What are we doing? What's the plan? Nobody ever tells me the plan. They just say, oh, be ready to rise up. For what? What are we doing? Tell me.
To all the people in those comments who said, "You're my favorite Gen X, I hope your relationships with your parents improve over time." That's a thing I'm told heals wounds. I'm gonna wrap this video up here. I hope folks of all stripes and age demographics were able to enjoy this, but if not, that card I mentioned shitting on people my age should be on screen and maybe more to your liking. Just remember that all of this is meant in good fun, fellas. Try not to take it all too serious. It's internet shit and we'll all be dead before the heat death of the universe anyways, or at least before the collapse of the economy. If you enjoyed, be sure to drop a like and subscribe with notifications on. Anyways, this has been Kwite, and I have some avocado toast to buy.